WYLN, we're your local network.
Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. A man who state police in Frackville say allegedly struck a woman with a club, threatened her with a gun, and then set the house on fire is now behind bars. It happened Saturday afternoon at a home on Goose Pond Road in East Brunswick Township. Police caught up with 54-year-old Theodore Sadowski. He now faces numerous charges, including arson and aggravated assault. He's now in the Schuylkill County Prison. Authorities in Schuylkill County are asking for the public's help in tracking down a Shenandoah man wanted for failure to appear in court. 18-year-old Travis Beaver was charged with criminal trespass, retail theft, possession of a controlled substance, resisting arrest, among other charges. He failed to appear in court on 3 separate occasions. He's described as a white male, 5'3", weighing around 140 pounds. His last known address, 163 Pioneer Road in Shenandoah. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call the Schuylkill County District Attorney's Office at 570-682-1350 or the Schuylkill County Tip Line at 570-624-3988. Friday, Mahanoy City Police took a woman into custody that was wanted by Schuylkill County Court. Police say they arrested 38-year-old Kathleen Keith in the 400 block of East Pine Street. Keith of Mahanoy City was taken into custody on an outstanding bench warrant from Schuylkill County Court. Keith failed to appear for the charges of possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and retail theft. She was taken to the Schuylkill County Prison. The Supreme Court earlier today struck down a federal law that bans gambling on football, basketball, baseball, and other sports in most states, giving states the go-ahead to legalize betting on sports. It struck down the 1992 Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, barring state-authorized sports gambling with some exceptions. It made Nevada the only state where a person could wager on the results of a single game. The American Gaming Association calls the court's decision a victory for the millions of Americans who seek to bet on sports in a safe and regulated manner. The NCAA's chief legal officer says the organization is still reviewing the Supreme Court's decision. Supervisors in Klein Township are considering new regulations regarding fireworks. The township is preparing a draft of a fireworks ordinance to take advantage of an opportunity in a new state law to regulate fireworks. For the first time, local municipalities will be able to enforce fireworks laws regarding their purchase and use. Supervisors are looking to allow residents to use fireworks on certain holidays. The board will also talk about a new non-residence tax. That tax is for people who work in the township but don't live there yet and use the township's infrastructure, particularly the roads. The supervisors can adopt the law now, but it cannot be enacted until the beginning of next year. Luzerne County Transportation Authority will be hosting a public transportation ridership forum and survey tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. It will be held at the Intermodal Transportation Center in Wilkes-Barre. Representatives from the LCTA will meet with passengers and discuss transportation-related ideas and issues. In addition, the staff will conduct PennDOT customer service surveys with passengers. Those surveys will also be conducted throughout the week at the Intermodal Center and on fixed route buses. A new jury notification system in Luzerne County is scheduled to launch by the end of the month. County Council authorizing $114,000 for the purchase of the new online and automated phone system. The money covers maintenance, staff training, and software installation. The new system will allow residents who are selected for jury duty and potential jurors to communicate with county officials through text, email, and voice response. The system will then cut the spending in postage as well as reducing paper, printing, and sorting costs. Nearly 21,000 Luzerne County residents are summoned for jury duty each year. Coming up on WYLN News, it's time to remember, click it or ticket. Plus, tomorrow, it's primary election day. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Scattered showers and thunderstorms move in overnight, the low 60. Thunderstorms tomorrow, maybe 83 for the high. Showers and 69 on Wednesday. We'll be right back.
I've been spending a tremendous amount of time out talking to Pennsylvanians, and one of the things I've learned is they want to be inspired again. We've lost 50,000 jobs in Pennsylvania. We're losing our college graduates to other parts of the country. We have some of the highest taxes, the highest gas tax, some of the highest real estate taxes. So we have to turn this thing around. We're proposing to lower the corporate tax rate, do away with property taxes. All positive change has always started with a clear vision. Let's restore the dream of America to the children of Pennsylvania.
Strong families and strong values are what make Pennsylvania great. My mother was strong, and she raised me with Pennsylvania values like hard work and integrity.
Republican John Schrin running for Congress to fight for our conservative values.
And I'll stand with the president to drain the swamp, secure our borders, and fight for the forgotten families of this country.
Strong borders, strong families, strong values. John Schrin for Congress.
I'm John Schrin, and I approve this message.
Chur's Auto Sales has been serving the area with quality vehicles since 1954. Chur's Auto Sales is known as your friendly dealer and now in their 4th generation and voted the best used car dealer by the readers of Standard Speaker Choice Awards. John Schur would like to thank everyone that voted for his business. When you need a quality pre-owned vehicle, choose from a large selection at Chur's 570-454-7229.
Click it or ticket. The campaign promoting seatbelts and safer driving starts today and runs through June 3rd this year. WYLN's Julia Wiegand has more.
The Click It or Ticket campaign is a federal program through the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration that focuses on safety education, strong laws, and law enforcement officers saving lives.
The focus is on aggressive driving, as well as using not just seat belts for drivers, but also child passenger safety seats, which most sometimes are overlooked in regards to that. It's taking that approach to cut down on traffic collisions. They are the leading causes of death. Unseatbelted drivers result in much more fatalities. So people can expect to see a lot more troopers out on the road, and they can expect that if they're not wearing their seatbelt and they're also driving aggressively, they can most likely receiving 2 citations instead of just 1.
New safety features help make crashes avoidable and more survivable, but there's one technology in today's cars and trucks that is central to safe driving: the seatbelt. You might not think of seatbelts as a safety technology, but they're the foundation of safer driving.
The forces of a crash that people don't realize are all around you. So anything not belted down in your car, if you're moving 55 miles an hour and come to a sudden stop, everything starts moving at a pace. So those seatbelts, what they do is they spread the forces or the trauma throughout that whole entire area.
In 2015 alone, seatbelts saved just under 14,000 lives. However, 2,800 additional lives could have been saved if everyone had buckled up. Any driver operating a motor vehicle must wear their seatbelt, and any child under the age of 8 must be in a child safety seat. The front seat is not recommended for any child passenger until they reach at least 13.
That's what that harness is for. There's a lot of times we check a seat and the harness isn't very tight, and it's usually they forgot to recheck it because of winter and they had a heavier coat on, or they feel like they're really pushing the child down, but that's the child's seatbelt up until they're old enough to put their own seatbelt on. That's what that does, and that those things are tested accordingly.
Seatbelts are the single most effective safety technology in the history of the automobile. They remain your first line of defense in a crash and your first step toward safer driving. So, click it or ticket. Seatbelts save lives, and the life saved could be yours. Reporting from West Hazelton for WYLN News, I'm Julia Wiegand.
Dollar General may be coming to another location in our area. The discount store chain is looking to build another store in East Union Township. According to the company, they're looking at a 32-acre property on Route 924. That's about a quarter-mile north of the intersection of Route 924 and Schoolhouse Road. The retailer already has 11 stores in Schuylkill County, including Tamaqua, McAdoo, and Mahanoy City. There's also 3 stores in Hazleton, retail locations in Weatherly, Freeland, Butler Township, Nesquehoning, and Wright Township. The retailer also in the planning stages for a store on 28th Street in Hazel Township. The new store would employ 6 to 10 people. Tomorrow is primary election day. Polls are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Democrats hoping to chip away at strong Republican majorities in the Pennsylvania legislature hope the primary will make it the first step. 3 candidates seeking the Republican nomination in the state's primary election for governor have similar stances on taxes, marijuana policy, and gun rights. But they differ on raising minimum wage and cutting school property taxes. The candidates in tomorrow's primary election are commercial litigation attorney Laura Ellsworth, former health care systems consultant Paul Mango, and state senator Scott Wagner. The winner gets to contest the re-election bid by Democratic Governor Tom Wolf in November's general election. Coming up on Mahanoy Township's News Choice, the reviews are in. Gaslight's opening weekend was a huge success. It's this weekend, too, and we have a preview in Community and You. Plus, what's next for the Bon-Ton stores? But first, let's take a look at today's winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. Stay with us.
Pennsylvania is a great state, filled with good, hardworking people looking to get ahead. But Tom Wolf wants to raise taxes and take more of your paycheck. I'm Scott Wagner. I sign hundreds of paychecks each week. I see firsthand how much state government takes. I'm blunt, outspoken, and determined. I'm a garbage man. You won't always agree with me, but know this. I'm on a mission to protect your paycheck and cut your taxes, and I will always put you first.
Meet George Halkovich, a serial tax raiser.
That's what I love.
Halkovich then used the tax increase funds to give himself a pay raise. That's disgraceful. Now Halkovich is running a TV spot lying about Dan Muser. The truth? Dan Muser's a trusted conservative who's never supported Hillary and never would. That's why Dan Muser's endorsed by Vets for Trump and Making America Great PAC. Dan Muser, the honest conservative for Congress.
I'm Dan Muser, and I approve this message.
Are you in good hands? Call Gary McNeilis of Allstate Insurance for all your insurance needs. The McNeilis Agency has 2 locations to conveniently serve you, 1092 North Church Street in Hazel Township and Hometown Village Square in Hometown. Their quality, service-oriented agency will make sure you get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call in Hazel Township at 570-454-1981 or in Hometown at 570-668-5133.
Are you in good hands?
Degnan, and coming up in the community, gaslight. A lot of them probably don't know what that means. It does if you live in a house with someone who moves things and then tells you they didn't move them, but you know that they weren't there in that place when you left them. A lot of married people out there are nodding their heads right now. With me are 2 of the folks from Gaslight, Adam Randis, who is the director of Gaslight, and also the leading lady. Yes, this is Jessica Schaefer, and Jessica plays Bella Manningham. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Do I sound like her at all?
You're
a little bit.
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Classic.
She was the original. She was. And this is going to be at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts. Adam, why did you get involved in this particular show?
Well, I wanted to choose a show that would have some meat on its bones. And I think that this particular show, especially being done in 2018, people can look at it with a very different set of eyes, considering, you know, the idea of gaslighting and how it works at an interpersonal level between individuals in a family or relationship between a husband and wife, but also how it works at a much larger level, at a societal level in some cases, in terms of, you know, a world of alternative facts. And if you keep saying something that's not true, eventually it will become true. So I think it was a prescient piece when it was originally made in 1938, and I think it has a lot to tell us now.
And Jessica, why did you get involved? Why did you decide that this was the show that you were going to audition for?
Well, I've worked a few times with Adam in the past in some plays, and he always brings something new to the table for me that I've not done that helps challenge me as an actress. So I'm always excited to do anything that he is a part of, and I've enjoyed exploring this role because, as Adam said, it has a lot of meat on its bones.
Well, since the fact that it came out originally in 1938, were there a lot of differences? Because when we think of going to the theater now, there are so many the modern things, SpongeBob, SquarePants, musical on Broadway. Who would have thought that? So you're bringing something back. Can you relate to that?
Well, we've put a few twists and turns and surprises in this to kind of make it fresh. That thanks to Adam, if he wants to speak more on that. We don't want to give anything away, but
well, it's a show that already was out of time and place, because when it was originally put on the West End in 1938, and then when they made the film in 1944, the original setting is Victorian England in 1880. And they were dealing with a very specific style of 3-act, they call it like the perfect construction play. But the way that the playwright, Patrick Hamilton, was able to play with that format and bring in more psychological themes makes it something where, even though it was kind of strictly formatted, it doesn't feel necessarily dated. And especially when you're dealing with the kind of interpersonal relationships where you have one person kind of exerting their control over another person, and doing so in a way that unfortunately is still all too common in today's society. I think audience members can relate to what's going on, even though it's in a different place and a different time. The problems that they're dealing with are unfortunately universal.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking of Jessica leaving rehearsal and then getting out and being on her way home and thinking, did that really happen? Has that happened to you?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I can relate. I've had that kind of thing happen, not to the extreme that she has, and in the dramatic sense that she has, but of course, like we all do in our everyday lives, so yeah.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
And the other thing we have to mention too is this is a drama. It's not a musical. So that's a little bit of something that's different. A lot of people would like to see a drama, so now here's the opportunity for them to see one. Adam, what are the dates?
The dates are May 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then the next weekend, the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
And we, of course, have all the information. We've been showing that on our screen, some of the very cool pictures that you brought from some of the rehearsals. And that also gives our viewers an opportunity to see exactly what we're... Now, there's no highbrow. It's not these and thous and those and things like that. It's because a lot of people will think, oh, this sounds like Shakespeare. But it's far from that.
Right.
Give me a very brief synopsis. What does gaslight mean?
Well, in the context of the show, the question is, Mrs. Manningham starts out the show, and you can tell there's a tension in the relationship between her and her husband. And where the mystery and the suspense comes in is, we know that he's a controlling individual, and we know he's rather cold to her. But how much of what she thinks is going wrong and going on around her is being done by him, possibly to manipulate her, and if so, to what ends? And how much of it might actually be in her own mind? It's mentioned very early in the play that her mother actually ended up in an insane asylum. And so those kind of questions bear in on her. What's reality and what's fiction? And then a little bit later on, after her husband goes out, which he does every night and she doesn't know where he goes, third person comes into the equation who just kind of appears out of nowhere. And so that leaves the audience questioning, okay, who is this guy? Where is he from? Does he even exist? So we have to come to the show and find out.
We won't tell anymore. See, I told Jessica I wouldn't tell any of the secrets. She was worried about that. So it is coming up again at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts. Jessica and Company, directed by Adam in Gaslight. You won't want to miss this one. And I think a lot of us can relate. We'll see you again on Community and You.
Northeast Pennsylvania. Scenic beauty, close-knit communities. We're neighbors helping neighbors. Lehigh Valley Health Network is bringing you leading-edge cancer treatment that's close to home, robotic surgery for quicker recoveries, world-class heart care and access to top specialists. All from Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and our 15 community locations. Neighbors caring for Greater Hazleton and beyond. Lehigh Valley Health Network.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
The Hazleton Area School District has budgeted around $800,000 next year to provide schools with substitute teachers. The district hires the substitutes through Kelly Educational Staffing. It pays $11 more per teachers as to when the district hired them directly. Kelly pays substitutes $100 a day, covers liability and payroll deductions. The board voted to hire the company back in October of 2017. Kelly finds substitutes that are in high demand, especially in fields such as math, special education, and science. Bon-Ton announced last month that it will be closing department stores across the country after filing for bankruptcy back in January. Now, unexpired leases will be auctioned off. Buyers can bid on the leases at the end of June. 2 will be auctioned off in our area, one at the Wyoming Valley Mall in Wilkes-Barre Township, the other at the Midway Shopping Plaza in Wyoming. A&G Realty Partners has been hired to dispose of Bon-Ton's real estate assets. The base rent for the store at the Wyoming Valley Mall, $1.52 per square foot and $3.38 at the Midway Shopping Plaza. If you'd like more information on the properties, you can visit the A&G Realty Partners website. Now stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN News.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is honored to serve you during the Memorial Day sales event. Lease a new Jeep Compass for just $169 a month, or get up to $13,731 off a 2018 Ram 1500 Crew Cab during the Jeep Celebration event at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, or online at allamericanjeep.net.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You're going to meet a 82 years young Bill, learn about his adventures and how a wonderful positive attitude and good chiropractic care keeps him going along his journey. His story and the reason why we have the popcorn on the table are coming up this week. Join us.
Wyln TV 35 is looking to hire a highly motivated, energetic salesperson for the Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, and surrounding areas. Send your resume to the email or the address on your screen. Wyln is an equal opportunity employer.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about visiting a restaurant that has a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the types of things that we will be featuring on our new show, Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Jeff Bonomo, host of Off the Beaten Path, welcomes you into the world of craft beer, great wine, and good eats. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops.
Spring is here, so stop in and get everything you need to make your garden colorful and bright. Check out our incredible low prices only at Van Hoeken Greenhouses, Retail Garden Center, Lofty Road, McAdoo.
Weather on WYLN TV 35 is brought to you by State Representative Tara Toohill. Paid for by the committee to elect Tara Toohill. You're watching Mountaintop's Choice for news, weather, and live local sports. WYLN, we're your local network.